I can't wait for this.
Welcome, Eric. Who wins this game, Eric?
Okay, so when I looked at this, everything says that the Cowboys should win. You look at it statistically, you look at it by the fact that they have the running game that they do, the offensive line that they do, and Green Bay's problem stopping the run, the emotion that they should have by playing at home, and the fact that they did get beat up last week by New Orleans, so there should be a recovery element there.
There's a butt coming.
Yeah, there's a big butt coming. When I hear Jason Garrett talk about what they're going to do, he says we're going to do what we do, and that's okay. But the only thing that they can do is by putting the ball into Dak's hands. That's the way that they could really lose this game. Green Bay has been opportunistic throughout the course of the season. That's how they won the first 3 games. They've turned the ball over a significant amount of times, one of the highest in the NFL. They've got 2 really takeaways. They've got 2 really good outside linebackers in Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith that can ruin the game. And so if you're gonna give them that opportunity to win the game with their pass rush, with their opportunistic defense, instead of just running the ball down the throats of the Green Bay Packers, that to me is how you can lose this game. And to some degree, Green Bay's playing with house money at this point. Nobody expected them to be where they are, and all the pressure is on the Dallas Cowboys, and that pressure can have an effect on how they can play tight. And you hear what Aaron Rodgers is saying. He's not tight at all. He's completely comfortable. The team is going to be comfortable going in there. And if they put the ball in the one spot that can lose the game, to me, that's how this turns out badly for Dallas. And then the other fact is they haven't beaten anybody. Dallas hasn't beaten anybody. They're, what, 2-14? The one team that...
Don't look at me like
that.
The one team that
was any good.
Dallas to win this game. He picked the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. You went against all of this wisdom from Coach Mangini.
I did, because I believe Jason Garrett is lying. I believe they're going to put the ball in the belly of Zeke Elliott and run the ball because...
Well, no, he said we're going to do what we do.
Which is run the football.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Well, you said he was lying. Is he lying
No. E-Man believes he's going to throw the ball, try to put the ball in Dak's hand, which you want him to do because you believe Dak now is the reason why this offense goes the way it goes. I do not believe that. E-Man does not believe that. Most people in the universe don't believe that. Only you believe that.
Boy, I think a whole lot of people.
Ain't nobody doing a whole lot of nothing. Well, that's why you got beat. Because you remember, Skip Bayless, when Zeke's held under 75 yards, you're 1-8. I don't know. I'm not good with numbers, but 1-8 is not good, is it, Joe? I don't think so.
Kind of like a Russell Wilson stat.
We ain't talking about Russell Wilson. We'll talk about him in the next block. Right now, we're talking about Dak Prescott, who is not Russell Wilson.
Are you ready to flip your pick?
No.
You pick Dallas. No. Have the courage of your convictions.
Because
you're trying to force it down my throat, but you won't have the guts to pick the Green Bay Packers?
Because I believe Zeke Elliott's going to get about 30 carries. And 30 carries going to net about 150 to 165
Ask
yards.
Coach Mangini what he saw in the game tape that he broke down at New Orleans. What did he see constantly? He saw the offensive line get its golden tails whipped repeatedly.
Yes.
He saw Zeke go 18 times for a grand total of 35 yards. A lot of them first down carries. All of a sudden, it's 2nd and 9.
And ask E-Man when he broke the tape down against Philly. And when he broke the tape down against the Broncos, and when he broke the tape down against Minnesota, what did he see? He saw that D-line and that front 7 from Green Bay get their tail handed to them.
I haven't seen Zeke run like Zeke used to run one time this year.
You saw it twice.
I'm not seeing it. I don't see it. When?
Miami and Washington.
Well, I saw late at Washington, got some garbage yards, had a couple late long carries. I haven't seen anything like the Zeke I saw in 2016.
You should know about garbage yards because that's all Dak get. Because they shut him down and then he get late yardage and they lose anyway. So you know about garbage.
Like the 331 he threw against the Eagles last year in the 2 fourth quarters in overtime.
That was last year. We talk about this. You see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
But the frustrating thing to me about Dallas is that offensive line is so highly regarded and it's supposed to be able to control games, to dominate games, and then you look at Ezekiel, he's supposed to be a difference maker on a consistent basis. And I understand the holdout, you can get into a little bit of a slow start. But I do think philosophically there's this shift in Dallas where they want Dak to be the guy. They want to justify.
They shifted back at New Orleans to all Zeke all the time. Well, that's how they got in trouble.
There's this element of justifying that he's a franchise quarterback.
Thank you.
And to me,
justifying that the running back makes $100 million.
You don't need to justify it. You need to give that guy the ball and let him control the game.
Well, what if they kept giving it to him in New Orleans? Would they got shut out?
It's a little bit like boxing. If you hit a guy with enough body blows, eventually you wear him down. But most offensive coordinators, especially young ones, they get spooked and they don't want to stay with it. There's this tendency to, when in doubt, throw the ball, as opposed to stick with the running game, allow that to open up everything else. And it's going to be that impatience. It will be what is the difference in this game because of the outside linebackers and because of the secondary.
Allow me to bring a little bit of historical perspective to this conversation. Dak Prescott has played against Aaron Rodgers 3 times. His QBR, and I know you don't love QBR, but I really believe in it because it takes into account everything the quarterback does in the game, including with his legs. Dak's average QBR in those 3 games against Aaron Rodgers has been 80. Aaron's has been 62. He's outplayed him all 3 times, and Dak has thrown 9 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions versus Aaron's 6 touchdown passes to 2. Fairly close, but again, advantage Dak. Aaron Rodgers brings the best out of Dak Prescott, and he played extraordinarily well in that playoff game when he brought them back from 21-3 down to 31 all tie. It was extraordinary. He threw for 302 that day and 3 touchdowns. So don't give me that he can't throw and that he's the liability on this team, because I'm going to dig in on this. The trap, the way they're going to lose this game is if they fall back into the Zeke trap. It has become a trap. I'm going on my eye test. I know Ezekiel Elliott, and I do not see the burst. I don't see the slither. I don't see the little bit of make you miss that I used to see. Maybe it's a Cabo thing. Maybe he's just not playing his way into game shape yet. Maybe I'll see a different Zeke, but I'm not seeing 2016 Zeke right now. I'm just not. My quarterback has been extraordinary. He's leading the NFL in QBR, albeit against high school teams.
Okay, we'll say that. Well, yeah, okay.
Okay, you got it. But Bill Barnwell has Dak Prescott ranked 2nd in his MVP race. He's on ESPN.com, and he's a real expert. I have a lot of
What about me?
respect.
I ain't no expert.
You're a football player. But and the quote from Bill Barnwell is, Dak Prescott has played his tail off through the first 4 weeks. He has. They go as he goes. And I want to see him go with the football, running it a little more, because they haven't run near enough zone reads, some option keeps, some quarterback draws, because he's a Jalen Hurts of a runner. I don't know if you've gotten to see Jalen Hurts run the ball for the University of Oklahoma. He's a big, strong kid, the way Dak's a big, strong man. He's 6'2", goes about 235 or 40, and he runs powerfully, and he can gash you with the run. And he can throw it. And if they'll throw it more on first down, maybe you can weave in Zeke on 2nd or 3rd down if it's 3rd and short. That's fine with me. But I'm telling you, they will go as far as he carries them in this game. And if you fall into the 40-carry Zeke trap, you'll lose this game.
25-30. You don't need 40.
Okay.
25-30.
30.
As much as Aaron Rodgers may bring out the best in Dak, the Cowboys bring out the best in Aaron Rodgers.
I totally agree. I'm with you.
And that's a problem. And if you're right on Zeke, your Cowboys have a much bigger problem, because if you think that this team is going to be carried by Dak as opposed to Zeke, it's not. It starts with Zeke, and he allows Dak to play better.
This team throws it to run it. That's how it's going to do it the rest of the year. And it's really been doing it, if you go back the last 12 games, the 10 games last year, at the end of the year, once they got Amari Cooper, just go back and look what started happening.
Zeke started getting 100 yards.
Dak Prescott led the league in completions over the last 10 games last year. And don't forget, over his first 3 years, he led the whole NFL in game-winning drives. When it's time, push comes to shove, when you push the money to the center of the table, I want the ball in my quarterbacks. No, it's my quarterback's.
But see, Skip, you keep telling me Dak led the league in completion, but you won't tell the people that Zeke led the league in rushing. Okay. Those last 10 games.
Chicken or egg? Chicken or egg?
Okay, then.
No,
but you're trying to make it seem like Dak. Yeah. And those come-from-behind wins, that Pittsburgh, when Tony Romo went in the locker room and told Stephen Jones what that kid just did. Oh.
Do you remember what he said?
Yeah.
It was effing unbelievable.
Oh.
That's when Tony Romo conceded the job to Dak Prescott. Sorry about that. It was at your place.
But you know what happened? Zeke went for a buck 30 and had 97 yards receiving, had
Well,
an 80-yard screen.
Yeah, but he had an 80-yard screen, and then he had like a 60-yard run to ice the game.
Yeah.
Because what happened, Shannon?
Yeah.
What happened? Pittsburgh completely blew the defense. Didn't Shannon Sharpe make that case?
He did.
Let me show you the tape.
Yeah, but
Right?
but Dak didn't throw it. But Skip, see, you keep in. I'm with E-Man. E-Man don't like QBR. I don't like QBR. Because you know why? Because you said Dak and Aaron Rodgers hooked up, locked horns 3 times.
3 times.
And you tell me Dak has a QBR of 80.
Average 80.
Aaron Rodgers has a QBR of 62.
Yep.
But here comes the Nicki Minaj butt. A-Rod is 2-1. So what you want? You want that 80 QBR or you want these dubs? Now, at my restaurant, that's all you get. You don't get. I don't get off of water, E-Man. At my restaurant, you get a L or you get a dub.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.